All right, now we should be sharing audio. Holy moly. Okay, cool. Now I see the audio working. Awesome. Welcome. Sorry, we are now 2 minutes since we started. Welcome to week 6 of Unfcked Weekly. This week we are talking about client onboarding. Not everybody that I work with is in client services or professional services, but most are. And there is a very unique balance of you've got business operations, you've got things that need to get done, and you are also managing client-facing work, which throws a whole new wrench into things. I have had clients that are product-based companies. They have customers, but it is a much simpler transaction. They want a product, they buy it, there you go. In those workflows, though, you also have manufacturing and R&D and prototyping in those processes and workflows. In service-based work, though, we've got handoffs from sales to client delivery and customer success. Sometimes people wear multiple hats. You may be the salesperson and you may be delivering the services. You may be delivering the services and the client success person. And did I just look up? I froze. I'm back. So today I've had it on my to-do list for a while to update my onboarding process. A lot has changed in ClickUp since I created my original workflow. And one of the things that you guys really seemed to catch on to, want to learn more about, was having different parts of a task show up at different points. Maybe it was 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago when I did these spreadsheets. I had showed how when a project enters a certain phase, you can have an automation to add certain tasks at that point in time. And that's really what I want to do now with my own workflow. But what's unique about this is it is a fully integrated system. I use Hubspot for my CRM, for my website, for my forms, all of that. Then I have an automation from Hubspot. When a deal moves into closed won, it will create a task in ClickUp. And then I use Make, which is like Zapier, to have other things happen behind the scenes. So I have Make set up for some ClickUp workflows right now, but not onboarding. So this is going to be taking a step back from a specific ClickUp build, but I want to show you how I do this because it's something that, like I said, I've had on my to-do list for a while, but I thought it would be fun to show you how I do it. Viewers are going to experience buffering. Ah, man. Let's see. YouTube is not receiving enough data. I don't know how to fix that. My stream status is poor. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. But I am recording it on my end. So worst case, I can upload the recording. So let's get into this. I will stop talking because this is going to be a lot. And I am going to forewarn you, I may stumble a little bit because I have not set up some of these automations in a while. And if I'm being honest, I don't remember the exact order that I need to do things in. So that is also a good, I'm not going to do it today because it would be way too much, but this would be a good opportunity also to write down this process so that when you need to go back and tweak things, you know exactly what to do. But that's all right. Again, let me know in the comments if the buffering is really bad. Screen share. Why won't it let me screen share? Screen share. There you go. Where's my face? There's my face. Cool. So let's see. All right. So we're going to get this started in HubSpot. Oh, no, you just saw that. That is okay. So we're going to get this started in HubSpot. I have created, and again, if you don't use HubSpot, that's okay. I'm sure this can be built out like this in other softwares, but I just want to show you how I am doing it for my work. So I created a demo pipeline in HubSpot. So I'm going to create a deal in HubSpot. I'll call this demo deal July 24th. July 24th. Stage, let's just say solution presented, deal type, new business, amount, I don't know, 8,000, close date, don't have one, let's see, I want to associate a record to it. That's okay, we'll just do that. So again, if you have questions throughout, let me know, because there's going to be a very technical demo here. But I feel like first, I should work on the ClickUp workflow, because I need the task to apply. I need the automation to apply the right template before I even get going. So maybe we can go into ClickUp first. Let's see. Because I did create I created a demo space in my real ClickUp workspace, because I want this to be for real. So in my workspace, let me zoom in a little bit more. Let's see, my camera seems kind of dark too. I'll make my camera a little bit brighter for you. Cool. In my ClickUp workspace, I have a template library where I can pull up all my templates. Now, I have a feeling I'm going to have to completely rework this, but let's see. Let's just say an ad hoc project. That's probably good. So what I wanted normally when I would start a project, I would have all of these things populate when I start the project, and I don't need them. And it's a pain, to be honest, because then I get things assigned to myself that I don't need yet, that are not relevant at the time. Let's see. Video is buffering. Audio seems consistent in screen sharing. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. So first, I think I'm going to have to rework some of these templates, which is okay. So let's see. I'm going to go to this one. I'm going to duplicate this guy probably several times. And I might ad hoc. I'll call this, I don't know, launch. Because probably what I'm going to have, I don't want to have to go through every single step if it becomes monotonous. I just want to show you enough so you get the point, and then I can move on to the next thing. So we're going to have that. All right, we have launch. Then what do we have? My stages are launch. I'm going to have discovery. Cool. Let's duplicate. All right, I'm going to hide some of these columns just to make this easier. Okay, launch. I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm going to call this discovery. So the first step is getting all of the templates set up that you need. All right, so ad hoc, and then you're going to have to save the templates. Okay. Stream seems to be working. Okay. All right, discovery. And I'll just do closeout. Config, training. I'll just do closeout as the last thing. Keep it as simple as I can. Duplicate, ad hoc, closeout. Now what I'll do is I'm going to go back to these originals. I'll leave this original one. Launch. So now what I'm going to do, project management. I don't use this anymore. I used to use that as a bucket to time track just random things, but now I just track that at the parent task. Launch, kickoff. Okay, so right now, since these are going to now be phase specific tasks, I'm going to delete that. Why did this discovery one not pull over the subtasks? Oh, I could always move them. Discovery, my map, value stream, config, set up SPs, All right, I'm just going to move these into this guy. Hopefully it works. Cool. Alrighty. Oh, now they're all there. ClickUp has been kind of buggy. But for closeout, we only need closeout tasks. Cool. Discovery, yeah, now of course I put everything. Discovery, my map, configuration. All right, I'm just going to get rid of everything else. Okay, delete. Hopefully this works. So now we've got launch with 2 tasks. Discover info. Wait. Closeout is still there. All right, let's get rid of that one. Delete. Cool. Perfect. Now let me save these now. Now what I'm going to do is, well, here, another thing I just want to show you that the way I have this set up, again, yours is going to be different, but you probably will have the same categories of things to do. I'll set that back to null. So project setup and onboarding. This is kind of the admin kind of stuff. I need to add, Wave is the accounting program that I use, and send deposit invoice. I have a link to that. So that will open right here and make it easy. I like to include links as much as I can in my template. So there we go, sign into Wave. Then request a free seat. I need to request a free seat with ClickUp so the client is not paying for my seat in their workspace. Send the kickoff email and survey. Do I need to send a welcome deck? That's something I really haven't been doing. I need to create a folder in Google Drive. This is what I'm going to automate today. This has been manual. So if I click on this, it opens. Oh, super. I've got a client delivery shared drive in my Google Drive, but I'm going to create this automatically now with Make. Copy their onboarding survey to Google Drive. Great. Okay. Kickoff. What do I need to do? I need to schedule a meeting, prepare the deck, stuff that I need to do. So that is perfect for launch. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to save this as a new template. The other thing here is I have my service type. So now I'm going to say save as ClickUp ad hoc launch. The other thing I like to do in ClickUp is date when I create or update templates, because I've ended up, and clients have ended up with many templates that are all named the same thing, and it can get confusing to keep track. Did somebody create a new template or did somebody overwrite a template? So I like to date my templates so that, oh no, I hope it didn't save yet. Customize. I want to have it not include this tag for templates. This is, I'm using a task type of a client project, which is great, but I don't want that tag. I'm using that tag to filter out things from my dashboards because I don't want to see, if I want to see how many projects I have open, I don't want to see the template. So that I use that tag to filter that out. If you have any questions throughout this of like, why are you using a tag versus a custom field or this or that, please feel free to ask. So when I go to my template, now I need to update an existing template. Ad hoc. Today's date. So you can see, I haven't updated this since October. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to customize, and I'm going to not include tags. I don't have dates in my templates. I usually don't include time estimates in a template unless it's saying, I'm working with a client on a retainer and they've got 10 hours a month, but I'm also trying to move away from that model as well. But that's not a conversation for today. All right. Discovery, templates, save as new template, ClickUp, ad hoc, discovery, let's get 7/24/25, customize, tags, save. Okay, templates, save as, ClickUp, ad hoc, close out. Close out 7/24/25. All right, cool, done. Awesome. All right, no other questions for now. Please feel free to ask. Alrighty, now what I need to do is, and again, I'll write this down. I'm recording it, so one cool thing, side note, if you're using ClickUp Clips, which is a built-in screen recorder, you can record a clip. ClickUp now gives you the transcript of it. If you have ClickUp Brain, you can tell ClickUp Brain to create you an SOP or a process document from the clip. It is really, really cool and quick. So anywho, now I'm going to go into my client delivery and I'm going to go into my demo projects. Did my automations carry over? Yeah. So let's see what I have here for automations. When a task is created, send a webhook. What is the webhook for? The webhook is what I'm going to get into and Make. So again, that's going to be a little technical. If you're not super technical, I apologize. I don't know what that webhook is doing. I'm gonna have to go into make and take a look at that. But let's see, can I see? I didn't want to go in here, so it's the same thing. Huh. Okay. I don't know what that webhook is doing. So what I'm going to do though here is I'm going to go to my automations and I'm going to say, make a new one. When task is created, fine. We'll leave that on. Add automation. When task, it's not updated. We'll say when custom field, no. The template's going to be applied on the HubSpot side. This is something that I still sometimes get tripped up on is where is the automation being triggered? My best practice and my rule of thumb is have the automation triggered where it is originating. So I'm having this triggered in HubSpot. So when the deal closes in HubSpot, create a task in ClickUp, apply the template. Because there's been times where things have happened in ClickUp and I'm like, what the hell is happening? Where is this originating from? And I've got to go do some detective work and digging. So here I'm going to say when custom field, project phase, is that what I'm calling this? Yeah. When, just on a task, no, when custom field, not project owner, project phase, changes from any to discovery, then we'll say apply the template. Apply template, discovery. No, that's not it. Ad hoc. Did I do this? Shit. I don't know which one's which now. Damn it. All right, well. That's what happens when I try to do things fast. Discovery, templates, update. I'm just going to create a new one. Save new template instead. ClickUp, ad hoc, discovery. I swore I did this. Oh well. Tags, boom. Okay. Now though, when I go to templates, now I got to get rid of browse templates. Now I got to get rid of one of those. Ad hoc. Come on. It may not be very apparent to you right now, but I will explain. Ad hoc, close out. I'm going to get rid of these. Right now, so I have a space called a template library. And the reason for that is this is what ClickUp shows us for what's in the template. And this is useless. This doesn't tell me the subtasks. This doesn't tell me anything. So this is pointless. That's one thing I really wish ClickUp would improve is the template, what we can see from the template library. So this is why I have this template library. So at any given point, we can see and very quickly update what our templates are. Let's go back to our demo projects. Automation. Now I got to rebuild this. When, task, custom field changes. Project owner, not project owner. Phase, from any to discovery. Apply a template. Discovery. There we go. Cool. Use. Yay. Okay. We're getting there. Automation 15. All right. Whatever. So say when, I'll just say phase is discovery. Apply discovery template. Okay, cool. Well, now we can duplicate this. So less manual work. Duplicate it in the current location. So now when the phase becomes closeout, no, not multiple values. Then we're going to apply the closeout template. So again, there's more I need to do for this to be fully complete for me, but for the sake of the demo, I'm not going to go through every single boring step with you. All right, copy, paste, when phase is close out, apply, close out, template. Awesome, good. Okay, no other questions yet. Let me know. So now we've at least got that set up. Now we can go to HubSpot. Nope. HubSpot, where are you? There we go. So now we've got our demo deal. Now I need to remember where to go to create this. Automation, workflows. I think that's where we go. I love HubSpot, by the way. This is how you're getting all the weekly newsletters and landing pages, review automation issues. Let's see, sequence, all on optimization 1, create ClickUp test. All right, let me see if this applies to any pipeline because I've got several different pipelines. And it looks like maybe I froze slightly. When this happens, let's see what this says. Manually triggered. Okay, so I do need to do this. All right, so I can show you how to create this from scratch if you are using HubSpot. Let me know if you're using HubSpot or if you're using another type of CRM. Salesforce is very popular. What else is there? I don't know. I can't think of that right now. So let me see if I can duplicate this. Optimization, clone. Here we go. So I'm gonna have optimization 1, create task. Oh no, my chat disconnected. I'm gonna call this, I'll just call this demo in the beginning. Demo, cool. All right, I'm back to my chat. Awesome. Cool. So now I've got to go in here and edit this. Edit criteria. So this is not in my new biz pipeline. This is going to be in my demo pipeline. When property value has changed to deal stage, yes, is any of, oh, look at this. I can pick the pipeline here. Okay. Closed. Where's closed 1? Closed 1. What? Closed 1 in demo. Okay. A value is required. I gave you a value. Close editor. All right. So when property name is deal stage and the deal stage changes to close 1. And, all right, now we have and project type is quick start. Only enroll deals that meet certain criteria. Well, that's not accurate. No, this is not accurate at all. All right, I'm gonna build this from scratch. Can I delete this? Delete. Ta-da. All right. And if this is not relevant to you, sorry. But if you're here, I'm hoping it is. All right, create a new workflow from scratch. So now I'm going to say when the data changes, sequence, workflow, data, list membership record created. I'm not in here enough to be fluent at this. Don't ask me to configure HubSpot for you. I can figure it out for myself, but digital interactions, no. Forms, website, data, it's got to be here. Playbook log, record. No, it's record when record meets a set of filtered conditions. There we go, deal. So a deal properties, deal stage. There we go. When deal stage is close 1 in close 1 demo. Awesome. Next. No, I'm not going to re-enroll. And so here's the thing too, is in ClickUp, I've got different project types. Just business process mapping is, doesn't matter. I've got different project types in ClickUp that will trigger different automations. So if a project is a ClickUp onboarding, just meaning the client has never used ClickUp before, we're starting from scratch, there's usually steps that I take. If the project is, I'm going to help them work, map out processes first, then get into ClickUp, that's a project. If it's strictly a training, so I've got different things there. So let me, for the sake of this example, I'm not going to worry about putting a condition on it, but I would say, and normally if the, let's see, can I save this? Workflow is off. Please add actions before turning it on. That's fine. All right, so when that happens, what are we going to do? We're going to go to ClickUp. So I've already integrated ClickUp. If you want, I could show you how to do that, but you've got to go into your HubSpot settings and connect the two. You know, let me rename this while I am here. So this is going to be close one, then create ClickUp task. And again, this is a demo, so I will make this real eventually. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to create a task from a template. Ta-da! So now, because ClickUp and HubSpot are integrated, now I can pick where I want this to go. So this is going to go into my client delivery space. It's not going to go into a folder. No folder. Pick list. Demo. No, not completed projects. I'm going to go in my demo projects list. And which template. So now, this is showing me all my ClickUp templates. So this is going to be, let's see, ad hoc. Hopefully this worked. Ad hoc launch. Perfect. Task name. Now here's cool too. You can pull the information from HubSpot to make your task name. So normally I have it be the deal name. Enrolled deal, HubSpot properties, deal owner. No, I don't need it to be me. I want it to be the deal name. Let's search the deal name. Okay. Deal name, and I'll just leave it at that for now. I don't think that's going to work right though, because in HubSpot, I have the names of the deals called deal and then the company or the person's name. That way it's easy to distinguish from just the contact record, but that is fine. So we'll save this. So now when a stage goes to close one, we're going to create a task. So hopefully this works. Do you want to enroll deals that are, no, I don't. I don't think I have any. Next. Turn on. That's fine. Awesome. Then I can try this in ClickUp. Actually, I'm going to make another deal. So we can test this twice because then I'm going to have to get the make automation going as well. Demo. Cool. So demo deal. And these are my real stages. Chats, priority calls, strategy calls, solution presented, verbal agreement, close one. So let's create a new deal. Let's see. We're going to call this Nerf. I am going to work with Nerf and help them to create more cool dart guns because my kids love them. So here we go. Here's project type where you can, so this would be ClickUp optimization. So I have these project types match the custom field in ClickUp. That way the right template can be applied depending on the project deal in HubSpot. Deal type, we'll just say existing business. I don't know. Nerf's got a lot of money to spend. We'll clear this date and save. Cool. So this is step one, the automation, and it's called a workflow in HubSpot. But the workflow in HubSpot is set to go. Now, I want to set up the webhook in Make. So if you're not familiar with webhooks, it took me a while to get the hang of a webhook. So a webhook is a fancy way to have two different platforms talk to each other. So in Make, for an example, one thing I have in Make is that what is this? New AI apps available for all paid plans. Cool. So some examples of Make automations I have is that, like here, I do subcontracting work for another consulting company. They use Outlook. I use Google, but I need both my calendars to be accurate, which doesn't always work. So I have, if a new event is created on my Google calendar, it'll automatically make an event on the Outlook calendar and vice versa. I've not figured out how to get updated events to work. This is not I know a lot of people who are experts in software like this, if this is something you want to play with, I could absolutely refer you to some friends of mine, but I have mastered some basic things. So this is the one I really like, but I need to figure out where that webhook is that's coming from a brand new task in ClickUp. So here, this is what a webhook looks like. So the way this has to get set up is, whoa, oops. Why can't I? Aha, there I can go. So a webhook is a way to send information. And I hope I'm explaining this right. So the way that the webhook works is first you have to create a webhook in Make, but then here. So this is saying in ClickUp now, ClickUp has to trigger the webhook. So here we have when a task is created through automations, integrations, anything like that, it's going to call the webhook. So this is the webhook created in Make. So what's happening here is that ClickUp is telling this webhook to activate. And then what gets activated is this. So it's pretty cool. So what I have set up for here is if this is for my content creation. So when I have a piece of content in ClickUp and I change the status from, I think it's from backlog to I've started to outline it. What I want, and I learned this from Ask Evie, so I do have to give her credit because I learned this watching her YouTube videos. So thank you, Evie, for the lesson. What you can do is, and I can show you what this looks like in Google Drive because I'm sure you guys know. Let's see, that sometimes creating things is a lot of manual work. So marketing, come on, Content Hub. So what I want is that every time I have a new piece of content, I want because I don't like to keep docs in ClickUp. I could use ClickUp docs to write my outlines for content, but I like it all in Google Drive because I attach raw videos that I film, the produced videos, graphics, thumbnails, things like that. So let's say, here you go, jackpot. So what I have in the webhook here is that, let's see, I can split this. What I have in the webhook is that ClickUp is triggering the webhook. So the piece of content is now in the outline phase. Then what's happening is ClickUp is getting the task ID. I'm sorry, Make is grabbing the task ID from ClickUp. Then what's happening is it's saying create a Google Drive folder. So what it's doing is it is taking the task name, which was called Jackpot April Fools, and then it is putting the task ID from ClickUp into the name of the Google Drive folder. That way, if I ever can't find anything, I've got the task ID to reference back to if a task name changes. So it's creating a new folder for me there. Then this router is telling it to do 3 different things. So now this is the part I love. Now Make is putting the URL to this Google Drive folder back into the ClickUp task, which I absolutely love because, and this happens almost instantly. So if I go to any of my content, let's see any of these videos. Let's see. Let's see if it worked for this one. Of course not. This was probably before. This was probably before it happened. Practical AI. This was probably it. This was the webinar I did on ClickUp a while ago. So there we go. So what this does is Make grabs the information from ClickUp, creates me a Google Drive folder, and then it puts the link to the Google Drive folder back in here, which is just the first time I saw this work, that I got it to work. It's like, this is so fucking cool. Like, this saves me so much time. So what this router is doing is it's editing the ClickUp task, and then it is creating a folder for any graphics. It's creating a folder for the final produced videos and for the raw videos. Because sometimes I will shoot several raw videos that I have to compile together. And then it's also, is this one not doing it? It's supposed to also create for me a document from a template that has all of these on here, because usually I have a format. This is an outdated copy. Usually I have a format of like a footer on the LinkedIn, on the YouTube description, things like that. So that is what Make is doing for me from a content standpoint. But I want to do this now for my client work. So let's go out here. Let's see. No questions. All right. Everybody's quietly watching today, which is awesome. All right. So first we got to, again, I'm not an expert at this by any means, but I have to create a new webhook. Create a new webhook. No? No? Scenarios. All right. Well, I'm going to go here and I'm going to hopefully duplicate one of these scenarios. New service. Google Posts. I still want to know what that webhook is in, you know what? Let's go back to ClickUp. I'm going to have to ask my friends who are really good at Make, how can I trace this back? So this webhook ends in 3Y3Q7. I could always go over here and see 3Y3Q7, HubSpot create task. Why do I have this? But then what scenario is this from? Scenario. Let's see. Or is it? Oh, it's turned off. Oh, okay. Good. All right. So this is turned off. So what the hell's the point of this? Okay, great. Well, that's good to know. The other good thing about a webhook is, like, if with Make and Zapier, if you've used anything like this, your plan, the paid plan you have, is based on how many times Make has to go out and look for information. So, for example, my Sync My Google Calendar event. I could tell Make that the default is every 15 minutes. So every 15 minutes, go see if there's something added in Google Calendar. So that's 4 times an hour. 24 hours in a day. That's a lot of instances being used. And you pay per, I don't even know what it's called. You pay per how many times the software has to go out and look for information. So I have this just triggered daily, so it just uses one action a day and doesn't eat up my plan. But with a webhook, the webhook, it's sending the information upon receipt. That's why in ClickUp, it says, when something happens in ClickUp, trigger the webhook. That way Make is not looking at ClickUp 4 times an hour saying, hey, is there anything I need to do? Is there anything I need to do? Is there anything I need to do? All right, so let's go back to our scenarios here. Hopefully I'm not boring you. New service, new post. I'm just going to, can I duplicate this? Clone. Cool. So this is going to be new project, new client project in ClickUp, make Google Drive. Cool. I need to add a brand new webhook. My gateway, this is going to be new client project. Cool. Save. Now we've got this URL. Copy to clipboard. Awesome. Now I'm going to go back to ClickUp, to that automation. And I'm going to say when a task is created, we're going to call this new webhook. I don't know, to be honest. There's this new webhook thingy. Create a webhook. I guess it would be that one. Webhook title. New project initiation. I don't know what all this stuff is, though. This is why I haven't switched over to the new webhook thingy. I'm going to have to ask my friends and see if this works or not. Because there's all these dynamic fields from ClickUp. All right, I'm just going to create it. And worst case, I can go back to the legacy version. So we're going to call that webhook and we're going to hit save. But we still have to set up the webhook to do what we want it to do. So new client project, save. Now we can edit this scenario in Make because I don't want it to do all this stuff. I still want it to get the task from ClickUp. I wanted to create a folder in Google Drive, but now it needs a different place. Now it's got to go in my client projects folder. No, it's not going to the content hub. It's going to, I'm just going to say just in that folder itself, and we're going to call it the task name, and boom, save. Cool. And to be honest, I don't know what else I wanted to do. Actually, yes, I wanted to put the name of I wanted to put the link back into the ClickUp task. So space, excuse me, client delivery, folder. No, I don't want it to be in a folder. Folder list, content counter. No, I want this to be in the demo projects. So now what Make is doing is, see how when I hover over this task ID, I'm pointing to my screen like you can see what I'm doing, that the little circle is bouncing. That's telling me, since I'm not great at this, that in this purple circle here, I'm pulling the task ID from the previous circle. So the action is, Make is looking for, it's editing a task, but what task? It's editing the task that we already got back here. So it's going to look for, it's going to look for that task ID. Then we're going to go down here, and then you could do all sorts of other things. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to put now see how the Google Drive is blinking or pulsing? We're going to take the link that was created here and put it in here. I don't know if I have a custom field for, looks like I don't have a custom field for a Google Drive link, but that's okay. I will know what it means. But when you click here, you get all this information. So you can get all of this data from Google Drive or wherever else you're pulling information from. All right, I'm gonna hit save. Now what is this one? Yeah, this is to create another folder for graphics. I don't need that, so I can delete that module. I might want to generate a questionnaire. Oh, here it is, copy file. So in my content creation workflow, I have a template or a blank folder in, I have a blank folder, a blank document in Google Drive that I want essentially duplicated. But there is probably something, because sometimes I used to send a long onboarding questionnaire, and I'm just going to get rid of that for now. But I could have it copy a file for me. So I'm just going to save it. I guess I don't even need the router right now. I'll delete the module for now. We'll reconnect these. And then let's see, immediately when data arrives, cool, save, and let's test this. Now we got to test the whole thing from Hubspot to here. Unless because there's no data. I don't know. All right, that's probably why it's not working. Let's stop that. Scenario was saved. So let me just make sure this is active. It is on. All right. Now this is going to be the big test. Oh, I should have kept Google Drive open. All right. Go to shared drives. Okay. Now this is going to be, why does it keep doing this? This is going to be the big test. Let's see. So we got nerf. We're going to move nerf to closed one. Doesn't happen immediately, but fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. So that should trigger a new task here at some point. What I would really love for it to do is to send, because I use Jotform right now for contracts, like not invoices or quotes, but look, you can't see the pop-up because of my face. Look at that, nerf. Jackie, there's a new project. Look at that. All right, let's see, but where to go? So there are other things that I would like to automate, but I don't know how to quite do it because I've got to have, look, it worked. It worked. and it applied only these steps. Yes, it worked. It worked. Yay. Cool. Now the test is going to be, I just moved my screen around. Now the test is going to be, okay, did the folder get created in Google Drive? Let's see. I'll refresh that. Nerf, look at that. It did it. Oh, I'm excited. Cool. It's not bad for doing this on the fly. So now we've got that. Again, what I would also want to have in here is the contract that gets signed. That is something that I need to do from, actually, I don't think I have that included in a task. I know I need to, Here's another thing. This is another thing I have set up from Make. This is interesting to me. Is if I, in the past, let's just say I have Nerf is a client, or let's say I start 2 new client projects in the first week and I have to prep for the kickoff for both of them. Normally, this would just say kickoff, assigned to me, right? And let's say it's assigned due today. If I go to my home, kickoff. Well, great. Oh, it says Nerf there, but just saying kickoff isn't very helpful. So I had a make automation to put the name of the parent task as a preface, it's probably not the right word, to the subtask. So here it's Nerf project setup. It was Nerf kickoff, but then I found it really interesting because this just says kickoff, not Nerf. But what I find really helpful is, let's say I'm 3 months into the project and I need to create a new automation. I can just go here and say, create new automation, new automation. And what this does, because again, if I've got several clients I'm working on, I don't necessarily know who that task is for, but the make integration will change that. And you can see down there, it popped up that it assigned it to me and it changed the name. I may need to hard refresh, even though it says it down there. And I don't know why I'm getting, it set the status to do. I also have all these other automations in place because I like to have the parent task as the task type of client project, but then I have my subtask task type as client task because I've got marketing tasks, client tasks, and that's how I time block based on the work type that I'm doing. So now we've got Nerf, create new automation, assigned to me. One more thing that I have is I like to batch the kind of work that I do, specifically for client work. So I've got all these tags. Do I need to do an audit or an assessment? Do I need to prep for a meeting? Do I need to answer a question? Do I need to record a tutorial? Do a configuration build, process mapping, all this stuff. So like kickoff. Here, prep kickoff deck would be meeting prep. Well, all of this really would be, I think I should take this meeting out of here because that's not actionable. But create new automation would be configuration build. So the other automation I have in place is that once I add that tag, then ClickUp is going to assign me the task and add this task to my current sprint. See, there we go. So it's almost like not having every single step of the whole project front load at once, like I just did with the automation of, okay, now if I change this phase, where was that project? Why did it reset this project phase? Oh, because I probably didn't have launch set up in the template. So now if I change this to discovery, it should apply those tasks. Same thing. I could have a bunch of, and this is why I set it up that way, I guess, prior to what I just did, because I would have all these tasks and some of them assigned to me in the template that I didn't need to do for months and months and months. So I had this tag that I could put the tag on, it'll assign it to me, put it in my current sprint. And then I have a client task view here at the space level where I group all of my open client work by the work that I have to do. That's a whole nother workflow, is actually doing the work. But let's see, hopefully this, oh no, I don't want that to be discovery. I want this to be discovery. So let's see if I add this, if this changes to in progress. Let's see if this, oh, and this time estimate is way off, but that's okay. So this should apply the discovery subtasks. So that'll really be, there we go. See, and this is what I was really hoping for, is nerf, send the info. So I've got information here in the task that I want to just be able to copy and paste very quickly to the client if I need to. Nerf, send discovery checklist. I believe I have a link in the template here to, or I thought I did. Again, there's going to have to be some things I need to update, but this is pretty cool. Hubspot deal. Hopefully that is added at the parent task level. Da-da-da. Google Drive, no. I don't have that here. All right. Oh, I have it put right here. But I should have an automation to put that into the custom field here. So yeah, this is it. I do need to do some refining to the template, but this is a great first step because you find what works, what doesn't work. Using ClickUp's agents, the AI agents, you can rename tasks. So I might be able to use the agents instead of make to change the task names. But for now, this works as I had hoped to. But oh, look, it reset the, oh, see again, finding, troubleshooting. This reset the status back to do because my discovery template had a status of to do. So now I need to go back to my templates. And also this, oh, this launch did have a phase of launch. This I need to change to in progress. This I need to change to in progress because it is changing the parent task, which unless I say don't include the statuses, that's probably something I could do. So if I go back to my templates and I update the template, discovery, I could say don't include, where the hell is it? Start comments, relationships. Why is status not here? Am I losing my mind? Comments, oh, current task statuses. So don't include that because I don't want that to override. Checklist, time estimates, sure. Okay. But I want, I want this for the subtasks, but that's okay. So we go back to our projects. There we go. We have it. If I want, I could create a new custom field specifically for that Google Drive link. So it is in that spot instead of just link. But that's fine for now. I don't have it here, but one thing I should include is I have a doc template that I have templatized, a doc template that's templatized, for client project notes. A lot of times though, I keep notes in the client's workspace, but I'm trying to figure that out too, because that's been tricky to project manage that for myself, having notes in the client's workspace and in mine. But I've got that too. So I could include this with the template if I wanted to, but the problem I found is that the way ClickUp docs work, having the doc not embedded, but having the doc included in the task, sometimes I forget where it is. So I wonder if an agent could add a doc. Ooh. Because right now an automation can't add a doc, but I wonder if an agent could add a document. All right, we got a couple minutes left. I do have to, do have a hard stop at the top of the hour. So if we do a task is created, launch an agent. Merge, add a tool. Because I thought there was a thing, create a doc. Aha. Build a new doc or add to an existing one. But what doc? How do I tell it what template? Reference to, aha. Oh, ooh. But I could add a doc. Aha. Let's see. One of these live streams, I think I just want to play around with agents. I want to get your thoughts on what kind of agents you would want to create, because I could research this forever as well. All right. So if I added that, I could say, review the task details, assign the task, add the doc. Can I add the doc client project to, but not that doc. I wanted the templated version. Maybe add a copy. Add a copy of the doc to the task. I wonder if that would do it. Huh. New, I'll call this agent new client notes doc. And was this trigger? Yeah, when the task is created. All right, now I'm going to try this manually. Ooh, I'm excited. Task, new task. Test for doc agent. Let's see what this does. Da, da, da. All right, I got 2 minutes left. Well, I hope this was helpful. I end every session with that. I hope this was helpful to learn how you can streamline client onboarding. Like I said, I don't have extensive experience with HubSpot and Make. I certainly would not ever accept anyone's money for me to set up. Oh, did this really work? For me to set up HubSpot or Make for anyone. But let's see. A copy of the client notes has been created for this project, but I want it to attach it. I wonder if I have to change the instructions. Let's see. Because it put it there, but agent. Let's see. Add a copy of the doc to the task as an attachment. Ooh, and rename the doc. I wonder, task name, project notes. I wonder if that would work. That would be really cool. Let's try that. One more, and then I'll log off. New test for doc. Doc. My sister's dog is named Doc. Every time I say that, I think of Doc. All right, let's see. It might take a second. But as I'm getting ready to head out, if there's a topic that you would like me to explore on a live stream, please let me know. I have a form. I don't think I have it in the description of the video, but I will put that in the description of the video. And let's see. A new test doc. All right, well, let's see. All right, okay. It didn't include everything. That's all right. Agents are definitely trial and error. But that concludes week 6 of Unfcked Weekly, where we talked about automating the entire system of onboarding a new client. And there's things I need to tweak and add and things I would like to automate in addition to this. But this is a great first start, and I hope that this gave you ideas of things that maybe you didn't even know were possible. And if this is something that you would like to learn more about, I've got friends that are experts in setting up Make Zapier integrations like that I would be happy to introduce you to. So next week, I am away on vacation. I'm going to be away from Monday, July 28th to Monday, August 4th. So we'll see. I want to do a live stream then. Maybe I'll do something that requires a little bit less planning, since it's going to be a lot to catch up on when I get back. But I hope this was helpful. I hope you learned a little bit. I hope you were inspired. I hope some ideas came to mind. And I hope that your next client onboarding can be less manual, more automated, and less headaches, less that you have to remember. So Thanks a lot for watching. Have a great weekend, and I will